Real Property Tax Foreclosure Bidder Seminar. My name is Frank, and I'm one of the auctioneers at Absolute Auction and Realty and the NYSauctions.com team. We've recorded this seminar because we can't do these seminars in person, and many of you have requested to watch these at your leisure. So this is a brief overview. If you want a more extensive information on property tax foreclosure and how it happens and what you can do to participate, we have what's called auction hour seminars on our website, aarauctions.com. There are 3 of them. Each one is an hour long, and you could watch those to get much more detailed information. This is going to be a brief overview, just to give you the information that we generally provide at the in-person seminar, and it's designed to let you watch it at your leisure. First of all, if you have very specific property questions, you want to contact a local town or village building department. Those are the people most informed about these properties, and they can provide you with specific information on the property itself. If you're calling or looking for information about taxes, you're going to want to reach out again to the town or village, the school district, or if you want to learn what the county taxes are going forward, you're going to call the county finance department or treasurer's department. Very general auction and participation questions should be emailed to info@aarauctions.com. So the properties that are in this auction are here because of what's called Real Property Tax Law, Article 11. And there are specific processes that the counties must follow. If you're interested in learning about them, you should do a Google search for NYSRPTL Article 11, and you'll get to the New York State Senate site, and you'll be able to find the real property tax law that I'm speaking about. Article 11 is the law. Everyone in New York State must pay tax, and in New York State, you're allowed a 2-year and 3-year on certain properties tax delinquency before it will be foreclosed on by the county, title taken, and then according to Article 11 must be sold at public auction. So what are the 2-year parameters? Every property type and classification, whether it's vacant land or improved, will be foreclosed on with a minimum of 2-year tax delinquency. When we talk about homework, and these are interested parties that are notified through a title search, you're going to do the same type of work that the county does. You're going to want to go to the county clerk's office, look for recorded liens, as they are the only liens that are valid. You'll search by the last name, first name of the delinquent property owner, and make a list of any liens or judgments that were discovered. That same list you can verify with the treasurer's office as to who did they notify. Everyone who has a lien, whether it's a bank, a hospital, a small business owner, anyone that has a judgment or a lien against the property in question in the auction, has to be served notice of the impending foreclosure, and they have a period of time to step forward and protect their lien. If they don't do that and basically pay the taxes to keep the property out of the tax auction, then the property will go for judge's review. He'll sign or she'll sign the order of judgment to the county, and then all the liens are wiped away as far as you're concerned. Now, if the county did not discover a lien, let's say it was overlooked, it wasn't found, that lien is a properly recorded lien in the public record, then the property will be transferred to you with that lien still in effect. So that's why we suggest that you do your own title search, verify with the county who they notified, and as long as the items match item for item, then you can rest assured that you won't have any lien issues going forward. Now, we mentioned the IRS. They have 180 days following the date of the auction to buy the property back from you for everything you paid and closing costs. They will not pay for any improvements that you may have made in that time frame. So if you're looking for liens, look for IRS liens also, then verify with the county that the IRS has been notified. If the IRS has been notified and you close and take title to the property, you can request from the IRS in their New York State office for a lien release, and they'll send you a letter stating that they relinquished their lien interest in that property as you are the new owner. Just keep in mind, some liens, again, that are not notified may still be in effect. The 90-day notice that we mentioned has to do, again, for interested parties. They're served notice that they have final 90 days before the judge will sign the order to protect their liens. And if they don't do so, then those liens are extinguished going forward. There has been numerous court cases challenging this entire process. And the bottom line is that it's presumed that as long as the county has followed all the steps of Article 11, that this is a valid foreclosure, it's legal, and that the liens will be transferred to you free and clear of liens going forward. So there are many properties to choose from. Just this week and going into next week, we're going to be visiting approximately 500 to 600 properties for signs and photos. We know you're not interested in all of those properties, so how do you narrow down your choices? Well, first of all, you're going to have to do your homework, and you could be either overwhelmed, quite methodical, or just fatigued by this process. And we understand that. This isn't something that you do every day, so maybe you want to hire somebody to do the searching for you. But if you're going to do it yourself, there are several things that you should be looking for. One of them is the assessment report. You're going to want to look and see how the property is described in the public record. And in the public record, you're also going to find a property tax map, and you could look at that. You'll see a former owner's deed recorded in the public record, any IRS liens. And then you'll want to contact separately the town, the village, or the school. Now, a lot of this information is available online. We're going to show you how you can do that. Here's a free website that you can go to. It's called ImageMate. It's by a company called SDG. And they have a lot of information for a good majority of the counties throughout New York State. Now, not every single county uses SDG ImageMate. But if it does, then you should be going to this site right here. Now, deeds, those are a good things to read to verify the size of the property. You may want to look for things in the deed like rights of way or easement or other specific property information. The good news is that many of the counties today are completely online with the deed. So you can look up the book and the page. Now, do you do this title search yourself or do you hire a professional? If you're confident in doing your own work and rely on your own info and what you've discovered, good for you. I've been involved in this work for over 20 years. If I was to do this type of research and I can't bid on property, can't buy any in the auction, but if I was able to, I would still hire a professional and let them get me a title report. You're going to want to definitely look for IRS liens, as these have a 10-year lifespan from the date of filing. They can be renewed an additional 10 years. As long as the IRS was notified, they're no different than any other lien holder, whether it's a hospital, a nursing home, state income tax. All lien holders that are notified can be extinguished by this process. Again, the IRS has 180 days from the date of the auction to acquire the property directly from you at no profit to you and no loss. Now, local rule means that there are town or village codes governing the use or improvement of property. You're going to want to find out about potential water services or any sewer districts. You want to learn about the schools. These are local information, and you should contact the appropriate local agencies to do that. So, are you done yet? Here's an example of property that may not have road frontage. New York State does not recognize what some people call landlocked property. You know, consider landlocked being property like an island. It has no road actually touching it. And how do you get to it? So on a map, this property looks like it has a road. But in reality, those roads don't exist. They're just drawn on engineered plans and in the tax map. So when you take an aerial view of this property, you discover that it's just land, just woods. There are no roads there. So how do you get to that property? Some properties have a deeded right of way. That means you can make access to the property and use it for safe passage. Some have an easement. That's a right to go over somebody's land to get to yours, but you can't necessarily put in a driveway or a road. You want to ask some legal advice. We're not attorneys. We're not giving you legal advice. We're just giving you general information. But you're going to want to look for ways to get to property that we can consider to be rear property or landlocked property. How do you know that we're calling it landlocked or rear property? Typically, we're describing them as may not have road frontage. And when you start looking at maps and photographs, you'll see that they don't actually touch a roadway. Get all your important questions answered before bidding. We do accept credit or debit cards at the auction, Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. And we suggest that you call your card provider before you go to use that card and tell them, I'm making a real estate purchase. And you're going to want to estimate what your down payment is. An easy way to do that is to visit our website, nysauctions.com, and look for the down payment calculator. We have every county laid out in terms of their minimum requirements. You could put in the bid amount. You can take a click on that calculator, and it will show you exactly what your minimum down payments for the day will be. And then that's the kind of information you want to relay to your credit card provider and tell them I'm going to make X dollars down payment on my credit card. A quick claim deed will be sent to you by mail once the county approves your bid. Right? All property bids have to be reviewed by the county. They're reviewing to make sure that the buyer is not a delinquent taxpayer in their county. They don't want to sell more property to people who are not paying tax. So that's typically what the review is for. Once the county approves your bid, then all the paperwork is filed with the county clerk's office. And in New York State, the legal definition of when it becomes legally yours is when the deed is recorded in the public record. That's when it's officially your property. Even if you fully paid for it weeks before, it's still not your property until it's recorded. So when you get the quitclaim deed in the mail, that's when it's yours, and you can go and start doing whatever you need to do on that property. Typical quitclaim deed is one page and transfers title to you. So that's a general overview of what you should do and how things work at the tax auction. You should certainly follow the advice. If there are any additional steps that your attorney or tax professional tells you to take, you certainly listen to their advice as advised. But again, if you have property-specific information, you're going to want to contact the local town or village, the building department, the code officer, and then for tax information, town, village, school, or on the county level to find out about future taxes. General questions about the way to register or how you're going to participate in the auction can be sent to info@aarauctions.com. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll look forward to hopefully getting to see you all again in person and in a not too near distant future. Thank you and have a great day.